What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back to you with another video. And today, I looked up, I was curious what new mock drafts came out. I always want to rip CBS a new one. And I see that they brought one out yesterday. They brought one out today, but they talked about Deshaun Watson trade to the Jets. Not really in the mood for that, right? Today, though, yesterday, they came out with one that it caught my eye because it brought, of course, my Steelers in, as well as the Panthers, talking about a bunch of quarterbacks. So we are once again mocking the mock. So this is going to be a fun series. I love this series. We're going to have positional rankings coming out very soon as well, just because I want to give you guys some content. Some of the videos haven't been hitting right now, but hopefully you guys can help support me on this one. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. All the links are down in the description if you want to support me in any of those ways. But without further ado, let's kick this off because I don't want this to be a super boring, super long affair. Okay, so I expect obviously the first pick to be Trevor Lawrence, which, I haven't read over this draft yet, all right? Just saying. I wanted to be able to watch this fresh with you guys, just be able to comment on it at the time. And you know what? Trevor Lawrence first pick. Do we need to talk about this? No. Urban Meyer has like a minute chance of taking, of course, his former quarterback, Justin Fields, but it's so little. I don't think. Yeah, it's like, look, no, there's no way that Urban Meyer thinks about Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence. I don't think so. I don't think anybody really thinks so. Jaguars are surprisingly ready if you drop in a good quarterback and get some new coordinators in there that know what the hell they're doing. I think this team's gonna do great. I already hit a problem. I usually give Zach Wilson to the Jets, and I think that would be a good pick. But I know the GM likes to trade down. That's one thing that Joe Douglas likes to do. Another thing is, they're trying to say Deshaun Watson. This could, of course, be Penei Sewell, giving Sam Darnold his real last shot. I don't think that New York is the place for Deshaun. That's just my opinion. If he goes to Miami, I would love that, but this is not the place for him. Not the place for him at all. If you get Penei Sewell right here at number 2 and be able to protect Sam Darnold, okay. But I don't think that Robert Saleh as well is going to want to start brand new. He came to the Jets looking for a good opportunity, and he saw probably potential in Sam Darnold. He made Jimmy G look really damn good. Obviously, he's a defensive coordinator, but he was able to let Jimmy G do really well in that scheme, get him 10 minutes away from winning the Super Bowl. But obviously, we know how that went. But of course, Sam Darnold has that potential. So Justin Fields, third pick. We got the first trade. Justin Fields getting traded up for by the Carolina Panthers. I'm okay with this. It depends on how much they gave up for it, but I don't think that they showed how much they gave up. Obviously, don't give up your entire future because you have a lot of holes, but Justin Fields could sit behind Teddy Bridgewater. He needs to sit behind somebody, and that could be his best spot. Mac Jones at 4. Oh, man. Oh, okay. I'm definitely gonna have to watch myself because I'm probably gonna try to edit that out because I can tell when the speaking stops. But oh Jesus, we're not gonna talk about it. That's absolutely atrocious. I saw something on PFF today that said, "Oh, would you think Micah Parsons is the number 1 edge in the class?" And they said, "Yeah." You know what, Falcons? I don't think you need a linebacker. You need some edge help. And you know what? It wouldn't be too bad if you had another stud linebacker in your squad too. I honestly wouldn't mind it right here if Micah Parsons went at 4. I can't support Mac Jones. Are you kidding me? The dude, I finally, PFF is starting to tell people what their actual stats they hide from their premium members do. He had 44 throws into tight windows. Joe Burrow had 120 last year. That's insane. And it's 100% true that if you have perfect protection and open wide receivers, most quarterbacks in the NFL could do as well as Mac Jones. That's going to push him down the board. I don't think he's going to be a first-round quarterback. Penei Sewell to the Bengals. If the draft falls this way, good. Chill. That's super chill. Next, Davonte Smith. Again, I would say switch this, but you do you, boo. Honestly, I can't stand the idea of Davonte Smith going here. It's not like a Marvin Harrison where he was 170 coming in, and then obviously he was built that way. If you guys want to listen to my 49ers interview, I interviewed their head scout RJ Gillen, and he totally said Davonte Smith's not worth it. He's definitely not wide receiver 1, not by a long shot. His frame looks maxed out, and he looks like a stick. The dude tried to put on weight this year. It's scary. Jamar Chase is beyond better. Beyond better. He's light years better. Davonte Smith, great separator. Jamar Chase, built different. We, of course, have the computer fan going on for no reason. But the next pick, we got Jalen Waddle traded back with the Carolina Panthers. I'm not a fan of it. But you know what? If you're at this spot, honestly, I could see them going after Rashawn Slater if they want to have that tackle center versatility. But, it's all right. Again, there's Micah Parsons on the board. So I honestly think that that's just going to be the best option. So if Micah Parsons is on the board, there's like zero doubt that I would go that way. But some people are huge fans of Jalen Waddle. Caleb Farley is insanely great pick right here. It's a beautiful scheme fit. I think that he could be the first corner off the board if a team like the Eagles decides on going the wide receiver route. Steelers trading up, I don't think that they could dare have the amount of capital to trade up that far. Devin Bush was a huge trade up. That's for Devin Bush. We already knew Devin Bush was going to be a stud. Trey Lance needs to sit for at least a year, if not two. And Big Ben, we don't even know if he's going to play next year. He says he wants to, but that's a big amount of fucking cap he has to take, $41 million. I'm not a huge fan of it, but you know what? If it happens, it happens. Trey Lance has infinite potential. It could be the next franchise guy. I don't think it's worth it, though. Micah Parsons at 11. The G-men get this. You solve your edge and linebacker problem all in one. That's just amazing. Patrick Surtain, I don't know the reason why you'd be falling this far. Obviously, the Steelers traded up where the Cowboys would be. I think it's a little bit ridiculous that he's here, but hey, it's a great pick. If he's there, it's a great pick. Chargers. This next pick, I have no problem with it under the condition that A, you have a target in the second round for a tackle, Alex Leatherwood per se, or B, you let go of Hunter Henry, and you are confident that either your line will be able to be good, or else you're going to have your backup in the next round. Because Kyle Pitts is an elite super weapon. I don't know why he keeps falling, but he just does. And he could be a top 5 pick. You never know. But it's just the way the board falls, man. I'm telling you. Elijah Vera Tucker here with this pick. Honestly, I couldn't blame him. They could use him as a tackle or a guard. They could use some edge presence more because there's still a Quiddy Pay on the board, which is a great value. But whatever, guys. It's a pretty solid pick. Zaven Collins to the Patriots. Honestly, I think there's much bigger needs on the board. You kind of could get a guy like a Kadarius Toney, Rondale Moore, trade back and get those guys. That's what I'd probably recommend. Something Bill could do. But of course, Zaven Collins could be next Dante Hightower or something like that. So I don't really blame it too much. But again, I'm not a huge fan of it. Gregory Rousseau, I don't know if this is really the right pick for the Cards. They're more in playoff contention / Super Bowl contention, and you don't replace Chandler Jones with a project. So I'm not 100% a fan of this. I would probably be going more for the trade back Azeez Ojulari. There still is J.C. Horn on the board, not to mention. So I would definitely go there. But if you're going to go the edge route, I'd probably trade back and get Azeez. I know that might sound like I'm tooting my own horn because I did that. But to be fair, if Horn were there at the Cardinal spot, I'd take him without question. Without hesitation, I would take it. Next, Quiddy Pay going to the Raiders. I couldn't blame it. They do need some pass rush, and it's great value for the pick. Honestly, I could have swapped both these guys right here, and it would have been a solid pick too. But again, J.C. Horn's on the board. Rashawn Slater going here. You heard me talk about it at pick 8, so can't really blame him here either. Great positional versatility. He is 6'3", 305. That's the whole entire reason why he is projected more as an interior guy. We don't know if a 6'3" guy can really hold up against the outside, especially with that size. Christian Darsaw. Why? I do this every draft. Why? What's the point? What is the reason? Do you guys not understand that this team has a loaded offensive line for at least another year and has so many other problems? So many other problems being you need another number 2 wide receiver, as well as maybe a linebacker, a safety. You could take JOK, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and be able to put him at safety over Troy Apke, or else you could keep it at linebacker and have him work with Holcomb. I think that would have been better. I seriously am not a huge fan of this pick. Again, I'm sure that you Washington fans are not a fan of it either. You guys know what the hell your team is all about. That's why I love you guys. You guys taught me so much. I'd probably be taking tackle if I didn't actually know a lot of stuff from you guys. So I really appreciate you guys. Bears, getting Kadarius Toney, no. If you're going to be doing this, you're going to be getting probably Rashad Bateman to basically play Allen Robinson 2.0. If you're going to do that, okay. But you need line help, and there's still a shit ton of dudes on the board, like Samuel Cosme and stuff like that. So realistically, Kadarius is a very interesting prospect, and I'm very excited to see how he plays. I love him to death, but this is not the place for him whatsoever. Tevin Jenkins, next pick at Oklahoma State. I've heard this one. I've heard that he can play that tackle spot. And yes, Costanzo's gone. And PFF loves Tevin Jenkins. And you heard me when I talk about Tevin Jenkins, hasn't led up a sack in 2 years. That's a good feat. That's a really good feat. Tevin Jenkins is a very polished player. Looking up 6'6", 320. He's perfect size. He's agile as well. He's really good. He's really good. Great feet as well. And honestly, I'd probably take Eichenberg over him. I love my Notre Dame tackles, but I couldn't fault them too much for this. I just think that there's still Samuel Cosme on the board. So I'd take him over Tevin Jenkins. That's all up to preference, especially with PFF having a hard on for Tevin Jenkins. Jason Away here at this spot, dude, Azeez Ojulari's on the board. I know that Jason is a freak athlete, but this team is in playoff contention. You get a guy who is developmental, but has shown a lot. Jason has shown a little, but has insane potential. That might get him in this first, but it should not be the Titans. The Titans are ready. They're trying to trade for these assets in order to sign them to keep them in playoff contention. Guys who are ready, like Jadeveon Clowney, not youth like this. They need guys who can prepare and play day one. And Jason Away's not that. Najee Harris right here, I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of him being the first guy off the board, especially with guys like Rashad Bateman on the board. JC Horn's still on the board. There's just so many targets here. I feel like they're just trying to kiss the ass of the big fan bases with JC Horn being here at 24, which would be great, but it's not going to happen. But Christian Barmore, I don't need to talk about that one. That was just ridiculous pick. Christian Barmore right here. I mean, I don't know why people are so. I mean, yes, Christian Barmore probably will be D tackle 1. With the way he played in the playoffs, that's wonderful. However, besides that, dude, chill the fuck out. It's an interior defensive lineman. Maybe it will happen, but when's the last time the Jaguars got a late first defensive lineman? That's Taven Bryan. And if I'm not mistaken, Taven Bryan isn't the greatest prospect in the world. Still has a lot of potential, but there's a lot bigger needs on the table. You still have guys like Samuel Cosme on the board. You have still guys like Liam Eichenberg on the board. You have Alex Leatherwood on the board if you want to be able to have him in at guard. This is not a position of need right now. It's not. You need to fix up that offensive line, be able to make sure that Trevor Lawrence is not going to get crunched, because you saw his offensive line degrade a lot this year, and he was able to lift it up until the real teams came in. So, again, I'm not a huge fan of that. Azeez, it's a pretty damn. I don't know why they're calling him linebacker. He's an edge linebacker. He's outside. I'm not a huge fan of it. He doesn't fit a 4-3. In my opinion, he fits a 3-4. So, again, total fuck up on the scheme fit. He's not a freshman either. So, I'm a little bit worried about. And then sophomore, I think that they didn't update their little draft stocks here. Joseph Asai is a true junior. Going to the Baltimore Ravens, wouldn't blame him. Honestly, they tried to get Yannick Ngakoue in there, and he hasn't really done shit. And Cap is dropping $30 million this year. Joseph Asai would be a great fit, but of course, Rashad Bateman's on the board. Of course, you can also point out that there's a kid from LSU there, Terrace Marshall, and he'd be a good pick too. No, Tyson Campbell here for the Saints. Honestly, he has all the tools. He's a freak athlete, and he has freak size. He has all the immeasurables that you want. He does get a little bit grabby though. So if you are able to keep Marshawn Lattimore and just chilled out for the time being and allow him to teach Tyson, could be a very high end pick. But I'm not totally sold on that, especially when you could be going for more of the linebacker route. You still have dudes on the board. Travis Etienne is next. Honestly, they're trying to get more of an Adrian Peterson role out of Leonard Fournette, and it's obvious that they just missed out on that. Travis Etienne would probably be a pretty solid option. Again, they need to fix up the D-line, though. You still have some really talented edges on the board. There's definitely some dudes who could be sneaking in here. There's some interior defensive linemen who should be here. You have about $30 million worth of defensive linemen who you are losing this year. This is not going to be priority one. It's not going to be priority one. Jeremiah Wusu-Kamara here to the Bills. If that happens, then cheers. I mean, he can play slot corner if you want him to. He can play safety when Jordan Poyer is going to be gone. He can play linebacker and just be able to work with Tremaine Edmonds and Matt Milano. I mean, man, if Buffalo is here and they get JOK, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Next, Nick Bolton to the Packers. Again, I think they need a linebacker more than anything, so I don't really blame them. It's just I don't know if I'm not a huge fan on Nick. I'm a fan on Nick Bolton, just not a huge fan on him. People are starting to become. Lastly, Boogie Basham, dude, you need to fix up that offensive line. I know you got some Laurent Duvernay, Tardif, and shit coming back. You gotta make sure that Patrick Mahomes is protected because you have a lethal offense, and if Patrick Mahomes can have 2 seconds in the damn pocket, he's gonna be fine. But you can't let also Mitchell Schwartz is gonna be on contract next year, but you cannot let pass rushers get to Patrick Mahomes. He can deal with it perfectly fine, but if he gets one injury, that's not good. That's really not good. You want to make sure he's protected. Getting edge help. It's a pretty deep edge class. Boogie Basham could be there later on too. So let me know what you guys think. That was the draft. Honestly, CBS didn't disgust me as much as they used to back when they put J.C. Horn at like 5 to the Eagles and stuff. So you know what? They're doing a little bit better. CBS. I'm gonna give you a solid B on this one. This is a stupid ass pick, and then of course this is a stupid ass pick too. This one as well. Honestly, there was a lot of stupid picks in here. So honestly, I'm dropping it down to a C plus. I wasn't as infuriated as I was with more of a guy like Todd McShay, but I don't really expect much from these guys anyways. I don't think you guys do either. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.